The former Secretary of State John Kerry reportedly negotiating behind the scenes. Joining us now is Christian Whiton, former senior advisor in the Trump and Bush 43 administrations. All right, Christian, I guess they call this shadow diplomacy. I was blown away that an individual American citizen trying to keep the Iranian nuclear deal alive.
It's pretty appalling conduct for a former Secretary of State. You know, it's one thing if John Kerry were asked at a public venue if he thinks we should stay in the deal, which he orchestrated, bad deal, or not. But to actually go and do what Kerry did, to meet with the Iranian foreign minister, this is the chief diplomat from our biggest adversary in the Middle East. He met with the Germans and the French as well to lobby against the position that is the United States position.
So where do we go from here? Initially, when this news broke, I saw a lot of things, reports of perhaps a violation of the Logan Act. This is a term that comes up from time to time. What exactly happens to John Kerry, or is he allowed to freelance like this?
He'll probably get away with it, unfortunately. I think he should be prosecuted under the Logan Act. Not that it's a good law. It's 218 years old. No one's been convicted of it. But they threw this at Mike Flynn as part of the effort at the Justice Department to take down the new administration, implying that because he hadn't quite entered office yet, that his interactions with foreign diplomats violated this law that John Adams signed into law. And, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If a law applies to Republicans, it ought to apply to Democrats as well.
Meanwhile, we're seeing within Iran itself a lot of upheaval, right? You had that real big attempt earlier in the year. There's a tremendous amount of social unrest. And I think this puts the Iranian government and the heads, the Ayatollahs, in a seriously awkward position, because people aren't chanting necessarily death to America. They're chanting death to the Ayatollah.
It's amazing, and the bloom is off the rose, to use another metaphor, from that 1979 revolution. The people in Iran want modernity. They do not want theocracy and clerical rule. And Donald Trump was very quick out of the gate to support the people in Iran who were challenging their government. President Obama didn't really do that. And that's an important part of the president's Iran policy, the strategy, which we may see change. Come the 12th, he either will get out of the Iran deal or issue another extension.
What about our European partners? We know that both Angela Merkel and Macron, they left, they came to Washington, they made their pitch, they both left, and it felt like they had accepted the idea that maybe this deal would look different. But I understand they're still negotiating, or at least asking the White House to make changes to it rather than dump it completely.
Right. It's sort of unclear, though, what the Iranians have already said they're going to reject any change to it. So this seems to be a paper shuffling effort. So, they want an extension. They want more time. I'm not sure what they could possibly accomplish in that. On the other hand, President Trump is always negotiating, and we have equities with the Europeans on how little they spend on defense and other trade problems. So he may choose to throw him a bone here and apply pressure somewhere else. I still put my money on him getting out of the deal, but no one really knows until it's done.
So let's say we get out of the deal. Ultimately, if we get back into a new deal created by President Trump, what would it look like?
Getting out of the deal would remove the straitjacket that's put on us. We were applying very, very successful, effective financial sanctions on Iran before John Kerry came and dialed that back for this terrible deal. So going back to that and continuing to give voice to the people in Iran who want change, put the regime on the defensive instead of being on the offensive against Israel and against us, frankly. If you cause problems for them at home, that would be a better policy.
Christian Whiton, always appreciate your expertise. Thank you.
Thanks, Charles.